That's good.
So that's a perfect segue, David. Thank you. It's time to get back to the drawing board for a second. We have Sender just joined us, Sandy, and don't really go, David. Stick with us. So
Yeah,
Sandy,
no, I'm going to be quiet.
Rabbi Wolf, do you think we should like put it out there, say everyone should be less quiet? What do you say?
Yes. Zon alle redden.
It should be like we have to mute everybody. But Sandy, I just want to tell you that a few seconds ago, David Goldstein from Houston was just telling us that he got a call from a shliach, and they want to do a get together to make something happen for Chavches Sivan. So he said, "Have you heard of the Minatzchim?" See, when he explained it to him, he said, "Oh, I thought that's for Chavches." Did I do it wrong? Whatever it was, Nisan. That was Chavches Nisan. So that's the Minatzchim or Chavches Nisan. So I thought that was a perfect segue to lead us into what we want to focus on today.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Very well.
All right. First of all, Yichia Minatzchim over here, because this is Nishkin Klein Azach. I have to tell you that, in speaking to a lot of shluchim and a lot of mishpacha just up in Crown Heights, it's coming from Allah Zayten. It's Pasha coming from Allah Zayten. Mashiach is effervescing in Lubavitch. The Metutzach in Mashiach, and everybody's talking about, here by us. I'm not going to mention the names of the shluchim, but like, since when did we get all into Mashiach? The shluchim are kind of talking among themselves. And then I have a sister-in-law who's Hertz from Chicago. She's involved with the Girls High School over there, and she was saying, she was telling me, Sandy, this mitzvah, this total mitzvah, it's amazing. The girls are all learning it and they're cooking in it. And then I'm speaking to a chaver of mine who's giving a shir in Detroit, in Oak Park, to the Nash over there. Do we understand what it means? 13,000 mishtatzvim in Limud in Yanegel Mashiach, all the same subject, all the same material, were united in this learning of Yanegel Mashiach. And as was discussed, the Rebbe, was pushing this. And maybe we came to this later than necessary. But that itself is an amazing testament that so many decades later, we can use a sicha of Chavches Nisan to be a rallying cry to bring 13,000 chassidim to Kachzich, not just chassidim, and from across the board. And it's no small part to what's happening right here with these weekly meetings. An idea that it just shows that one little candle of an idea of a conversation between three chevra about what we can do this year when they're learning the Basilaganis of this year, and so that's that we have to go with a sense of netzach, and from there it just explodes into what this is, and obviously the Kol HaKavod always goes to the chevra that really are pushing this, and Mendel Chaitin and Shlomo Parstek. But the rest of us as well. And the point is, obviously, in all these things, is not to give ourselves a pat on the back, but to once again remind ourselves how much we can do and therefore how much we have the achrayus to do. We're pasha changing the world. Oftentimes the hardest people to speak to is the Eigene Mishpacha. Right? It's very easy for me to be mashbi on my kehillah. It's a lot harder to be mashbi on the Eigene Mishpacha. But look at the effect that we're having on the Eigene Mishpacha. In Lubavitch, we're all people that've been there, done that. We know the Yom Mashiach. Yeah, sure. We are the toughest nut to crack in theory, and we're cracking it. JLI and the Shiurim and this mitzvah, Lubavitch Tutzich in Mashiach. There's no limit to the potential as long as we stay motivated and focused. And if there's one thing that current events is showing us, is that really the messaging, how powerful of a vehicle and opportunity messaging is, right? This is what's really bothering us in the sense of this whole thing, is that the messaging with what's going on in Eretz Yisrael, the messaging is all wrong, and how powerful certain people with certain voices have. But if we can learn Tzaddik Kedusha on this, then if we are peh echad on our messaging, then this is, we go from Chav Ches Nisan to Chav Ches Sivan to Mashiach, to the Gula Mitzvah Shlema. And I think we have an achrayus, because we took it, Chevre, we took an achrayus. And Minatzchim, the term Minatzchim means not when it's going easy, and not when we have the momentum. But Netzach means at all costs, and whether we feel tired and we feel that. That's what it means. We decided with a certain chutzpah, or maybe you could call it a certain Kabbalah oil, to refer to ourselves as Minatzchim. So then let's be Minatzchim and step up to the moment here. Now, Baruch Hashem, this mitzvah gate afagaing, and I think it's incredibly matzliach. And of course, we can always have more, but Yasher Chela to those that have been a part. We can call this a success. It has definitively moved the needle in unser mishpacha among Anash, and Mashiach is shagar b'fiv kulam. Everybody is spending the week dinging sich in Mashiach, in the pratim of Mashiach, in these sichas in which the discussion is, the emunah, the chiyuv of the mitzvah of the emunah and Mashiach, and what and how, and this is an amazing thing that's being accomplished. And now I think, as we have been focusing on, the step is to get it out to the Welt. And I do want to just say that I think right now, if there's ever been a period, a Shas HaKesher, where the Yiddish Welt feels threatened, united in feeling threatened, right? We've seen the videos. You have a Polish Yid running for his life from somebody who's trying to run him over, and a Freie Yid being beaten up, and it doesn't make a difference. The ganze Yiddish Welt feels us. We're united in this threat. We have to be united in the answer. And the Weile, this is our opportunity to step up. And I was thinking, think about this. Think how radical of a change, a seismic shift in the Yiddish Welt. Amol Mashiach was a polarizing issue. But think about it now. Is there any issue that you can unite Yidden, that all Yidden can agree on as much as Mashiach? Eretz Yisrael, controversy. And Eretz Yisrael is controversial. Chassidus, controversial. You know what's not controversial anymore? Mashiach is not controversial. Mashiach is not controversial. Freie Yidden sing about Mashiach. Litvish Yidden sing about Mashiach. Polish Yidden sing about Mashiach. Lubavitcher Zicher. It's the thing that Ashkenazi, Sephardi, Fromm, Frei, the whole world, you can get every Yid who is interested in Yiddishkeit. And obviously we Shluchim are attached to the Yidden that follow us. If there's any group that could get the Yidden that are not interested in Yiddishkeit to come to something Yiddish, that's us, that's the Shluchim, that's our forte. So the whole Yiddish Welt is available to us on this Nakuda, united for Geula. And I think we have to set a date, perhaps Yud Gimmel Tammuz. It's a month exactly from now. It's a month exactly, Yud Gimmel Tammuz.
By the way, that wording you said, united for Gula, it's a very good wording. We could catch on to that for anything we do.
United for Geula. That should be the thing. United, whatever we're going to do, we can have. I'm sure somebody speaks to a few of the Chashva singers in the Welt. Say, no, we're not paying you a dime. You're going to be part of this historic event. You're going to come out. You're going to sing. The speakers, the Chashva people, everybody. As we've talked about, and we've been talking about around and around the Indian. I think if we're Keveya a date, and we said this is it, we're shooting for this date. We're already going to put it out there. I'll share briefly a moment that I had, and I'll go. Many people know that the Israeli ambassador was a member of our show for years and years and years. We were having a building campaign. And it's going in permitting issues and MISIS, and so geduyet. he came to me at one point or another. He says, I was preparing his son for bar mitzvah, and he says, Rabbi, we were originally thinking about doing the bar mitzvah in Israel. We decided the last bar mitzvah should be here before, this can probably be our last simcha here before we head back. This was a year and a half ago. He said that, Rabbi, we would like to do it here in the Chabad house. Will the Chabad house, will the new building be ready? And I don't know why I felt comfortable, because at this point it was 6 months away and we were still in permitting. We hadn't broken ground. The bar mitzvah was 6 months away. And he said, I don't remember why, because we were about to break ground. I said, Ron, if you will commit to having the bar mitzvah in the new shul, I will commit to having the new shul ready. So he said, now his wife is a very organized person. She's like everything, the color scheme. She had chosen out the color scheme and the motif, the theme of the bar mitzvah a year and a half in advance already. Like this one bar mitzvah was going to be this bar mitzvah was going to be. Okay, they were machlit, and they were the invitations. I'll never forget. We get the invitations. Very cool invitation in the mail. All like the latest type of invitation with numbers and things. It's like one of those collages of numbers and words and images that you sometimes see, like very. And it says one of the pictures was, an icon of a shul. The location 5324 Goldsboro Road. That's where the bar mitzvah is going to take place. There was nothing there. There was the invitation goes out inviting everybody to an empty lot. And I'm like, this is serious. We broke ground on Yud Shvat of that year, December. The bar mitzvah was in June. But we had the date, and so it happened. We had the date, and we all of us know this. If we set a date, or kivei a date, and already tell people this is going to happen, we'll get it done. With whichever speakers we have, or 1 in 20, we'll have 10. But I think of a kivei a date, and to me, Yud Gimmel Tammuz is imminent enough that we'll get on it right away, far enough away that we can actually pull it off. Chag HaGeula, Gimmel Tammuz being Yischalta de Geula, Yud Gimmel Tammuz being Chag HaGeula, that the Welt doesn't have to, for all those that could be naysayers, don't have to know that we're bringing the ganze Welt to verbring on Yud Gimmel Tammuz. But either way, perhaps that's the time we set Rekeveya and we do a United for Geula global event. Right now, start getting the word out. Well, everybody is looking for something that brings us all together. And the ganze Yiddish Welt, everybody wants it. New York to California, Yidden are afraid. They're looking for leadership. We are that leadership. And they're looking, they want to get out of Mitzrayim. Let's go. Oh, but so David Goldstein wants to know if we finished the building. It is, I have photo evidence that I am not exaggerating one iota. Friday morning of the bar mitzvah, the 7 o'clock mincha ma'ariv, everybody's invited. Friday morning, she comes in with the little baggies with a colored themed candy, okay, to throw at the bar mitzvah boy. The siding wasn't up yet on the building. The front entrance was not tiled at all. The main shul, the concrete floor was bare. There's only half the carpeting put down. There was bare concrete on the other. She walks in and she looks at me. She says, Rabbi, are we going to get this done? This is later that evening. So I tell her, Rhoda, that we're Chabad. We're never early, but we always get it done. And the pictures in chronological order of the bar mitzvah. As they come in for the pictures, everybody's in their suit, but they're on Kodesh, beautiful pictures. The next pictures are of the chevra hacking and knocking the last nails into the wall. So like as everybody's pulling up, the trucks are pulling out, and it was beautiful, and they fixed a beautiful mezuzah. The bar mitzvah boy fixed the mezuzah on the door as the start of the weekend, the celebratory weekend. It was beautiful, and it went off, and with incredible amount of nisim and everything like that. But that's the point. I think we have to be kivei for Minatzchim. We're kivei our goal right now, perhaps in this meeting, that it's whatever date it is, unless there's already a date or whatever. But either way, kivei, this is it. We can start getting the word out. let's not give ourselves reasons to keep on pushing it off. Keveya, shoot for that date, and let's make it happen. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. It's set. Now let's make it happen. How do we make it happen? Everybody take yourselves off mute.
We need a coordinator.
Definitely
Number one, we have
the
to find
best
a
line is you
coordinator
know,
of the meeting.
Geula for English, Achtus for Geula, and this, you know, Kulano, what is it in Hebrew? Muachadim Geula, what is it called? How would you say it?
That's a good point. We should get Israel involved from the beginning instead of just inviting them at the end.
If
You
it's in
know,
English,
So-
how do we do with Eretz Yisrael?
I don't think it's a problem. I think we have like the same way we do with the kinnos. You have 1 or 2 speakers in Hebrew. If everybody's speaking for 5 minutes, Al Kinsevel Zayin. Most Israelis speak enough English. We can have it with subtitles if we know in advance what they're going to say. And everybody's speaking for 5 minutes. It shouldn't be too hard to have subtitles of the general gist of what they're saying. Mitachlim Geula, united for Geula, and run with it. And we could have, I think, if I cared, perhaps it's even more beautiful. Most predominantly speeches in English, a couple speeches in Yiddish, a couple speeches in Hebrew. You know,
one guy in French.
it will make the point. It will make the point that this is a global Yiddish and across alle Kreisen.
No, last week someone had this phrase that was going around on the WhatsApp. Someone put out this thing, and it was just and this really characterizes where Yidden are holding today, at least in the Fromme Welt, is that the guy said, you know, this year is Lag BaOmer nicht gewesen, Lag BaOmer, and Shavuos is nicht gewesen, Shavuos. We're waiting as Tisha B'Av soll nicht sein Tisha B'Av. So in other words, there was exactly the guy that was a client. He said, "Das is this, you know." So I feel that tension. Yidden are ready for it. They really are ready for it.
I love that
say
line.
something?
The ganze Verbringen, that line is a beautiful line.
Came from
If we
some
make
kind of
different-
yeah.
If we make different parts to the day, not only the day being civilized as an event, then it could be run by different people, and Haslacha could not be defined by how many people show up to one event. Like if we have both learning leading up to it, led by one team, and we could have much more. Like people could give out cards to learn. It doesn't have to be defined by one event, but I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't. Now that I'm saying it, doesn't make sense. For something to define it more as an event, like a global day, not just one rally.
I think there's a certain energy in one rally that it's kulam ulchad. Those are the nekuda. Alles in it zusammen.
But I think you know, even like with all these things, what's the kinos? The kinos is an event, but it's also a pol nimshachas, and the lead up and going away from it. And I think in the lead up to it, we can part of perhaps building toward it is in fact material that we can prepare and get and disseminate for people to learn or capital telling that we're going to, you know, but the bottom line is that I think if we very quickly just establish branding, and maybe Rabbi Wolf, I know that a lot of these things fall on your shoulders just because you're a kolbai, and you know, not too many of us. But
no, but my guy is working. He's still working on my Geula 45 thing that we wanted to. He told me today because my father's making me crazy. And he's running around Baruch the whole day telling everybody 45 is Geula and connecting it. And he wanted this. So he's coming up with me for a branding for that, which I think is going to be very strong in the sense that we have 45, whatever. It's related to this 45 Yidden in Maron. But I can definitely ask him now to start working on a United for Geula, yes. But I think we have already the information of what we're doing on it, and put it out now, put it out next week. So it's out there. And now we just have to pull together and people see it. So then when you call someone, he says, oh, I saw that. So he knows, you're asking him to speak after the advertisement is out. Which doesn't say yet who, just saying, it's a very grabby, it's a very, something that really grabs you, an ad, a poster. That could be something.
Yeah, if we all, let's say all the Minatzchim, we switched our social media images or whatever it is in WhatsApp, or if you're on Facebook, we switched it to this graphic, the United for Geula, and you put something compelling, coming soon, or whatever it is, an event to change the world, United for Geula, something, boom, like this is happening, and we started putting out the word the same way, look, this mitzvah of Devar Malchus, it came together also in less than a month. It came together in less than a month in an incredibly comprehensive way with shiurim and programs. Once there was a sense that something major was happening, Chevra were willing to jump on board. Organizations jumped on board. I think one of the most amazing things about this mitzvah was how quickly, JLI and our Chassidus and Sigels in English and everybody, and then the dissemination among the various Rashi Kohol in Anash and the Magishim, et cetera, So I think this is, who is the coordinator is a good question. Who is the guy? There does have to be the guy who is the be all end all for this.
Yeah, well, we discussed this last week, and there's even money set aside for that. I mean, a commitment. I'm not going to slap in the geld, but we did commit already. For now, we have already officially committed 4,000 that there should be someone who Pashut can get paid for this. But we so far didn't. That didn't materialize yet, and
what?
We don't have much time.
But the Mashiach campaign office began with the VAD that then found the guy, and right now by committee. Let's get this. We're right now here. If we get a graphic, we can get it out. Then again, we'll get this happen. So let's not wait on.
So
that.
Can we have? I know this is everybody is what's it called again? Very busy, and even just the commitment of coming to the general Minatzchim inspiration meeting is a commitment. But can we create a VAB for this particular event, and that we speak twice a week on the phone on a meeting, and which we have concrete jobs, and we're getting something moving? Because I'm afraid it happens from Monday to Monday, and these things fizzle.
So why
if we
don't
have
right
the
now?
Americans on board, they could give us an initial flyer, and they have that ability if they're on board with us.
My concern with it is that right now, till Gimmel Tammuz, Shlomi the Parstek, who
they're going to be busy with that,
who have moved mountains as really a two-man team. It's unbelievable, but it's unfair to pile onto them. Not when we have right here, we have a group of Chevra. Let's remind everybody, we wrote into the Rebbe that we're Minatzchim. That comes with a certain achrayus. We committed. We wrote it into the Rebbe. This is the moment. Let's step up. We know the Gelegenheit is possible. We know we can bring together tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Yidden in a Kriya L'Geula. And so let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready to be on the VAD.
When does Yud Beis and Yud Gimel Tammuz come out this year? On which days of the week? What are we talking? Anybody can check this out.
Looking.
So if anybody who's on right now wants to be part of this VAD,
Tuesday, Wednesday,
put your name on the chat right now, and I'll build a list, and then we'll contact everyone with times to meet throughout the week.
I'd like to 22nd, 23rd, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, that's good.
Can I ask 2 questions, please?
Yeah.
I don't want to chas v'shalom cool anything off, but I noticed lately that every meeting we come up with new ideas. we come up with new projects. Last week we had a project of galvanizing the whole world in the Minatzchim.
Yeah, but it's been the same. It's been the same project.
It's the same thing. So I have a follow-up question. Last week we spoke. We're going to try to find a person. Has anything happened with that? Because with all due respect about committees, I have a little bit of experience with committees. I can tell you that the Mashiach office didn't take off after a whole year of committees, right? Until we found the person. It only started happening when we had a person, right, Sandy? I think you're aware from the beginning up.
Yeah, but Rabbi Zilberstein, that person was found because of the committee.
Oh, good. All right. But unfortunately, it took a whole year, right? It took a whole year. And if not for the perseverance of a few people to make it happen, it would have never happened, right? So we're talking now about Yud Gimmel Tammuz. You do not have that, we never have it then either, but you don't have the luxury of waiting a year to find a person. We have to be practical. As the old saying is, a camel came into being. It was supposed to be a horse, but it was made by committee. Right? So I think we spoke last week. This is a week later. But I want to be realistic. We said that we're going to call somebody to see if he has a person. Has anything transpired of that? Does this person not have anyone?
So I reached out and I didn't hear back, and that's where I left
So
it.
I think this is, before we go, we should go to design, and all this is wonderful, and I agree with you. Da reinspringen, machen Posters, eine Poster Gesundheit betreiben, but it needs a person. And if we're not going to have this one person, the designer can the bear should for this, then verbrennt. It's like a pepper. Nothing going to happen.
I don't agree. I make a machot with the saying. I make a machot with the saying. Everyone's here ready to do it, or the person will be found by tomorrow morning.
But I'm saying emphasize the effort has to be in finding the person. That's what I'm saying.
I reached out to somebody and I asked him if he knows any Yikar lights, and they actually gave me a few names of people.
No.
I think put it out on the Minatzchim chat. There's some guys on the Minatzchim chat that just got married a year ago, 2 years ago, and they know people that are, that are willing and able, and especially if they know there's money there. I think there's enough guys that are out there that are willing to do it.
I agree, and I think I have.
Is there anybody can walk into the kollel and I clapped on off the dish? We need a person for a month. I mean, or something similar to this.
But they also have to be very capable. That's
obviously.
So there's
all
a
the
guy.
People they tell you the interview session, and you interview all the people that come. I have a line.
So Sandy, would you reach out to Shlomi just to see if he has someone that we could? Okay, so that's what we spoke about earlier. That's very critical.
Mandy, didn't you reach out to Shlomi last week?
I never got through to him.
Okay, all right.
I will. Both of us, Zusha, will tag team him. Number one. Number two, I think I have to go because I have to pick up my kids. But I do want to say maybe we spend the next 10 minutes, whatever it is, outlining exactly what we're asking of this person. Because and what would be the relationship between this person and the VAD? What is the VAD? Is this person just really kind of pulling the pieces together? Are we asking him to find everything? We need to, so we know what exactly, because that's exactly, this person's going to come back and say, potentially, tell me what the scope of my.
So Sandy, label Estrin last week offered to write that up, and he did, and it landed with me, and it didn't go further. So again, that was my lack of action. But he did write up a short description. And I want us, or whoever's in the VAD, to look at it and to put it as we want it, and then we could use it.
All right. I think perhaps the big difference that between, let's say, last week and this week, I think that's if we set the date Yud Gimmel Tammuz. My father taught me an expression that to a certain degree, and Mendy knows my father, and Rabbi Rubenfeld knows my father, but there's a certain there's an old expression that If not for the last minute, nothing would get done. We're putting ourselves in that position where that's it. It's there's no tiaretish because now we've got a date and it has to happen. And for Ket, if we hold ourselves to that date, we can make an incredible amount happen as long as we know we have no choice but to make it happen.
So I have a
One
suggestion.
more question, if I may, before we do this. If and when someone not from Chabad who is going to ask you, what about this date? Okay? And as somebody said before, nobody has to know that it's Yud Gimel Tammuz and it's us. What are you telling a person? Why this particular date?
It's before the 3 weeks.
Huh?
Exactly.
It's right before the 3 weeks.
I'm not questioning. I'm just saying they have to formulate a logical answer that a person should say, are you trying to fool me of something? Nobody wants to be fooled.
Yeah.
No.
So that's why we have to be straightforward. Why?
Rabbi Wolf just said, first of all, it's a month from now. Everybody right now, if we're starting right now getting the word out, we're saying that we're doing this in a month that's logical to people because on the understand a month is enough time to pull something together and it's an answer for an imminent crisis.
Right? Why not Tisha B'Av?
Yeah, but a month is for you, not for a Moshe Weiss or a Basher Weiss or for a toddlers that you come and tell them, I want you to speak.
No. But then Rabbi Wolf said 3 weeks. It's right before the 3 weeks, right before we go into this period.
Why don't we do it on Tisha B'Av after 3 weeks?
Because Maktim Refuah Makah.
Maktim Refuah, yeah.
Okay. He might ask you, why not doing it Erev Shivasa B'Tammuz?
It's not enough time.
What?
What?
I'm asking him. It should be on Shiva.
No, I'm just saying, all I'm saying, I'm pushing because I just want to have a plausible answer that nobody should be feel okay. Those Lubavitchers are trying to fool us in and schlepping us into Yud Beis Tammuz verbringen. I don't have a problem. Tell them, look, it's Yud Beis Tammuz, but we have to be straight and honest and open with this particular date.
How many people, let me ask you a question. How many people asked when they made the Yom Tefillah and it was Tes Adar? I don't even think the person who organized knew the significance of Tes Adar. And
I'm sure nobody thought
this is
of
different.
It.
This is different because you're talking about, real people, specific people talking, not everyone giving a tefillah.
I think you just tell them it's in the lead up. The answer, you keep it simple. It's the lead up to the 3 weeks.
What day of the week do you think is best for most people to participate in this? Because even from a practical side, Yud Gimel
might be better Sunday. That's the question.
You want to push it to a Sunday. Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, I believe, is a Sunday.
It goes to music. No music.
So Yud Gimel Tammuz is a Wednesday, just from the practical side of
Somebody
things.
just posted that Yud Gimel Tammuz is the Sima Rambam in Eretz Yisrael. I just saw it was just posted here.
Sandy, you better go. I feel bad for you, Kindlach.
Yeah, right.
But I just want to make a suggestion that we should post everything we have working forward from here, like this VAD. We should just do it on the Minatzchim WhatsApp because that way everyone sees it. And you don't have to make a new group. Everyone's on, doesn't mind seeing it. Let's just bring everyone into it.
100%. And I will keep everybody excited about it.
So he's volunteering to be on the Vada Poel.
So we already
He's
have someone
volunteering to
signed
be
up.
Vada Poel, this Vada Yoyatzim.
Exactly.
Don't all scream it together.
No, so we had, who said they're on? Someone said they're in.
So maybe you can make the sign with the fingers.
Yeah, to vote.
Up,
A
no?
vote, yeah.
A vote, a thumbs up. How does this work?
Oh, I forgot your name, Chabad Frisco. I'm sorry. You said you're happy to be on the VAD.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Mendy says, Rabbi Majeski says he's in.
I'm ATIS. I'm always there for ATIS.
How about what's the guy's name? I really feel if we got the chevra that did the Unity Sefer Torah to be involved with this, they have already the connections to everybody, and they just did to the unity is there. The unity they connected it to a Sefer Torah. They would be such a help. I don't know who's there's a guy in Muncie, big fellow, Greenwald. Who's the Lubavitcher Chevra? they pulled together such a big thing. Then they turned it into the Hatzalah, connected it to it. But who are these guys? They're all three Lubavitchers.
Didn't last week somebody say it's going to reach out to him? Why do I remember that somebody said last week it's going to reach
I think
out
someone
to
said they wanted, we should. I think it was brought up, but maybe 2 weeks ago. No, I don't know if anybody took it.
See, giving this name to whoever's going to be the coordinator, this is gold, right? So we'll give them these names and we'll say, make a phone call. That's what we need. So step 1, coordinator. Step 2, we will give them guidance. Everything we have a lot. People have good ideas, real good ideas, real people who could make it happen. So we have to continue. The most important thing is that we should continue this on the WhatsApp and should give updates one another and make it happen today. Because tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is? Next week, Monday.
Yes.
My Baba Olav Shalom used to say in German, Morgen, morgen, nur nicht heute, sagen alle volle Leute. For those who understand a little bit of Yiddish. I remember this since I'm 2 years old. Tomorrow means not today. That's what tomorrow means. Wenn weiß ich, aber nicht heint. Right?
Now you're already chapping with me.
Chas v'shalom. Was definitely
my
my
grandmother would
intention.
always say about my father. She said, morgen was on the you know?
Right.
We have that. I have that in the blood. It's my struggle. Punkt yesterday, I'm learning with a younger man, Tanya, above the Heineken, a real geschmacke younger man. We started Sunday nights. So we're learning there the end of Perik Aleph about the Arba Yisaitis, the Midas, you know. So it's always good to look yourself in the mirror and find out, you know, do I have a lot of offer? Do I have a lot of mayim? What exactly is the combination? So when we talk about the procrastination, what should I tell you? I'm not doing a confession over here, but it speaks to me.
I'll tell you what I just did. I just sent a text to someone.
To hold myself to the fire. Let's go.
Sorry. I just sent a text to someone who's asking to send me the number from one of those 3 guys, the Grunwald and the Unique, etc. One of them, I realized I might have an access to him, so I just asked to get his phone number. If I'm gonna get it, I'll call him and see if we can get
and we still do it. The secret to this event, I believe, is him and Shalom Mordechai as well. And there's no reason why we still don't have Shalom Mordechai. You know what I'm saying? These are the people who manage to get into the you know, with an Achdus call.
But again, if you go Shalom Mordechai, I think somebody had mentioned it in the past, that you are excluding modern Orthodox.
Yeah, okay, no, it doesn't have to be that he has to be the face of it.
Okay.
And or even show his face in it, but as a
connections.